And we are into game number 2 here of dnL versus Team TKAG. Of course, dnL taking a one-game lead off of a pretty early victory in the last game, picking a very mid-game, early-game centric lineup, uh, pressing their early advantage as they won pretty much all their lanes, and then taking the game quite quickly. So we're already in picking stage here, as it took me longer than usual to get stuff set up for some reason. But bans are out, Scouts on top of Parasite Tundra, Keeper of the Forest. So nothing too surprising here. Parasite initial ban a little odd, especially considering we don't see him taking out too much. Scout Keeper, not very surprising. Tundra is a bit of a targeted ban at Pro Bus class games. They do quite well in that hero, so they want to take it away from him, make sure that dnL can't run it again, and nothing too surprising there. So bans more or less sensible. Pick so far here for dnL: Wretched Hag, Ophelia, Pestilence. So 3 really strong heroes. In fact, just heroes that doesn't matter if they go well together, they're just really strong. And they do go pretty well together for that matter. Lots of gank potential here, especially between those 3 heroes. That's one thing they do very well. They push pretty hard too, with Sonar Scream from Hag cleaning out creep waves and Ophelia's minions helping to take down buildings as well as waves. But mostly it is about the push. There's some carry potential here as well, depending on whether we see Hag in that suicide or short lane role. She always brings plenty of late game potential, and of course a little bit quicker if she is put in the short lane. And Influencer does like that carry Hag, so I don't think it's ridiculous to expect him to be picking up that hero and to see it in the short lane. But between Hag and Pesty, there's quite a bit of late game here. Even the team fight reasonably strong with the Bat Blast and the Norse Blessing. Pestilence, more of a single target hero, but still does quite a lot in team fights, as he can jump in with that portal key, grab and impale onto 2 or 3 heroes, and that really helps start fights well. He's a great initiator and really does that extremely well, perhaps better than any other hero in the game. So dnL over here shaping up pretty well, in fact, as their heroes have a lot of strength in general, and they should work pretty well together. They have some more of that mid-game presence. Once Ophelia gets those 3 creeps, she gets pretty darn powerful, and perhaps starts to taper off a little bit after that, as she doesn't get too much more from her abilities, just a little more heal and a little shorter cooldown from that Norse Blessing, plus some more utility items typically with Astrolabe, being a sorcery, that sort of stuff. And Hag, of course, being powerful in the mid-game as a burst magic damage hero before she starts bringing in those hard right-click auto attacks. Same thing with Pesty, as we get the Impale, and then level 1 or level 2 of Bugs. He is quite powerful. Of course, he does scale. He's not quite as mid-game strong compared to the end game, but as he does scale a little bit better than Ophelia. And, of course, Hag just always good. So, really liking dnL's lineup here so far. Lots of power here. And Kraken, Ravener, and Dr. Repulsor on the Hellborn side. Lots of power over there as well. So, presumably going to see that short lane Doctor, Ravener mid, and Kraken in the suicide lane. As we saw Kraken last game in the suicide, I believe. No, sorry, it was not last game. It was another game I cast earlier today, I think. And he did quite well in that situation. But this game we'll see how he does. Expecting solid things from him, especially if it is that Hag in the short lane. He will have a bit of an issue, as HoN does tend to mess with melee heroes, but shouldn't be completely destroyed. Might die once or twice, but not the worst matchup in the world. He certainly has the potential to kill Hag if Hag allows herself to get a little bit low, doesn't bring enough regen. Then you drop the charges, release the Kraken, the Torrent, a splash auto attack, and all of a sudden she's dead. Ravener, of course, in the mid, very strong mid hero, especially when put in a dual lane, and I expect that to happen. And he is, pretty strong in the mid game as well, so going to be able to deal with some of the mid game heroes on this Legion side. Repulsor, not a mid game hero. Needs lots and lots of farm, very late game, so a bit incongruous there with these Hellborn heroes. Presumably they're figuring Ravener and Kraken will get them to the mid game into the late game, and that's very possible. But we'll see how well Doctor does, because I think this game is going to hinge a lot on whether or not he's able to go all out. Because if he is, if he gets a good start and he destroys the opposing team, gets some good items early, gets active, gets that icon and those charges up, he can be very powerful and very dangerous. But if he doesn't, then he will just be food, especially for a Legion team over here that has chase potential. Usually Doctor's like, oh, well, you can't catch me, so even if I can't kill you, you can't kill me. Well, you're going to have a portal key here on Pesty, and we're going to have a blink already on Hag, of course, so he's not necessarily going to be out of the woods just because he's able to use his ultimate. And we'll see how that does. Of course, now Cersei picked up over here as the bans have gone through. So they're Master of Arms, Engineer, Torture, Nymphora, and Empath. Lots of support bans there. if you consider Slither a support hero, all support bans. And Slither, of course, can be run as a support hero. Not always that situation, but I assume Zlap was taking that out of the mix as a support because there's really no idea that they're going to run him as a carry here. They're going to pick up Tempest, the last pick, or they're going to pick a second support. Those are pretty much their two options. And just as of obviously, both heroes going into the second, or both teams going into the second banning stage, figuring we need to support. All the supports got banned, and instead we'll see Cersei over here on the lead side on top of Sir Bensington. So Cersei, I believe, new for this cycle, and gets banned out a lot. Is a very, very, very powerful hero, especially against this Hellborn side that will have some difficulty canceling her ultimate, and if she takes over that Dr. Repulsor, she'll be able to wreak havoc. Of course, putting a support hero and then all of a sudden turning them into the opposing team's farm to carry is pretty powerful. So if support on that Cersei is able to get a couple of good ultimates off, will be able to turn the tide in fights, and even in the mid game when Doctor isn't that powerful, should be able to take Rav or Kraken and help turn team fights that way. A nice release to Kraken will be very helpful. And so we're going to see a fade here, so I guess this is going to be a support fade. I'm not really sure why, but it is. Bensington, last hero over here on the Legion side. Mickey is going to be playing that in the Suicide role. We've actually seen that a couple of times as a Suicide, and he's not too bad. Joust allowing him to get away and serving as a stun. And the Lance Along allows him to get more CS than you'd think, and allows him to do a lot more damage than you'd think. All of a sudden he pops that and he hits some heroes for like half their health. Doctor is going to be one of those heroes. So Doctor going to have to play a little safe in the early game because Bensington can definitely kill him before Doctor hits 6. After that it's going to be a lot harder, but in that 1 to 5 window, if Bensington gets a little bit of harass on there, gets a Joust, gets a nice Lance Along, Doctor could certainly die. So we'll see what Legion chooses to do here. I assume they're going to dual lane this. No, they got to tri-lane this, don't they? Yeah, I think they got to tri-lane Rav here in the aggressive lane. Put Doctor short, Kraken mid. I just don't see Fade ever as a dual lane support. And she's definitely, no, she's a farmer. She's got a hatchet. Not really sure what's going on here. I'm really not. So Fade's going to be up top with a hatchet for reasons that I don't understand. Glacius obviously playing the support role. You'd be surprised let's play the jungler last game. They're going to try to jungle Fade? I really hope they don't. I really, really hope they don't jungle Fade. She has 2 mana pots and some tangos, so if she goes level 1 Cull here, I think that they're going to turn this into a jungle Fade, and I really don't want them to do that. Especially because you could have picked Tempest. Like, if you wanted a jungler, pick Tempest. Tempest and Kraken combine very well, especially on top of Glacius. Those 3 ults, if you get them in a really good position, would destroy the opposing team. Like, there's no question about that. It's just a ton of damage coming out, a ton of lockdown. Would have given the Hellborn team some push, which they currently lack. Their ganking is certainly strong. Their team fight's pretty solid with Kraken and Glacius already, but of course Fade, Repulsor, Ravner, all pretty much single-target heroes. Up top, oh, we're going to see the pull the creeps into the woods and use them to jungle strat. That's what this is. So this is going to be a jungle Fade, but it's going to be I'm using the creeps to jungle Fade. Apparently Vulture Lord's not to her liking. And we'll see if Bensington ends up losing lane control as a result of this. And Mickey's like, what the hell is going on? We've seen this a few times in Diamond Cycle 10 in the playoffs, and in Cycle 9 as well, with particularly Magnus and Geomancer doing this. And he's going to see a Joust here onto Repulsor, and he's going to take a bunch of damage. A lot of damage, really. As he just keeps getting hit. Mickey has no boots. He's just that much faster than Repulsor is. He's level 2 now with a Lance Along, so there's a health pot from Doctor. And like I said, if he gets too harassed here, that could be an issue. And Mickey's going to have some pretty solid control of this lane up here, as he's still got his health pot, he's got 2 Tree Eaters. Doctor has only Tree Eaters left. And this is the issue typically with running a Doctor, is that It's so weak in the laning phase that you just need to have a good start. If you don't, you can get wrecked. Anyway, mid, Pesty and Cersei, not a surprise. Cersei's Immobilized is extremely difficult to land because it's not very wide and it moves reasonably fast, so it's not like a, it's right in between, do I predict this or do I throw it where they are for me? I hate it. I like that hero. It's extremely powerful. I just can't play it because of the I just can't have the Immobilized for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just bad. No, I'm definitely just bad. But with the Impale as the Ice Imprisonment on top of the Ball Lightning. Fade coming in here for the Running Shadows will hit, and this is going to be a Bloodlust on Pesty. No! Oh my god. I cannot believe he survived that. It's entirely shocking to me. Invis Rune going to be grabbed up here by Cersei. Proboscis says calculated. Yeah, sure, buddy. And his problem now is that he's got no health and no regen. Cersei's got a health bot, which she presumably will drop on him. Bot lane, no surprise, Kraken versus Hag. Hag doing pretty well too, 90 GPM, and Kraken not doing terribly at just under 200. Got 15 and 1 CS here for Hag, and actually Bloodlust up top as Mickey falls somehow. Coming in here looking for a kill on the Repulsor, but he's going to get stunned. There's the stun and the call. Nope. TBS Priceless just getting the last hit with the Brain Shadows, in fact. So 1-0 hero kills coming out here in favor of Hellborn. Kraken taking the haunt once again as we see 16 and 1 Hag compared to a 12 and 0 Kraken. So Kraken not doing too bad down here. And he's still got plenty of regen left with 3 tangos. Hag has a bottle and 3 tangos, so certainly winning the regen game in that sense. Mid Pesty has clearly eaten Cersei's health pot. And he will take 16 and 2 compared to Ravener at 14 and 4. So Probus doing a little bit better in this lane. Immobilize going to hit Ravener there, and that's going to help Probus clean up some creeps without them being denied. Up top, Mickey just got Bloodlust, but he's 14 and 2 compared to a 15 and 3 after Repulsor. So that Bloodlust, the difference between the 220 GPM and the 300 GPM, but Mickey's certainly doing what he can to win this lane. And having a good time. Junglers, 214 GPM on Zlapt compared to 277 on Fade, so certainly the Bloodlust helping out a lot with that, but let's jump in here, no. Hasted Cersei here looking to box out this Fade, and she will do so a little bit. Repulsor level 5, so close to that hallowed 6, and there you go, see, the Immobilize missing, it's an awkward spell. So Hellborn know that Cersei's top, and they're being a little more aggressive here in this mid lane. While the Ravener's been taunted. Up top, meanwhile, Mickey getting the Burning Shadows on top of the call. Will joust away. Cersei's here to help as well. Immobilize doesn't actually hit anything. And they went on that a second too early, because if Repulsor was 6, that was an easy kill. They just let him hit 6. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that here. Meanwhile, bot Zlapt will actually fall as Kraken just finds her. Says hello, but Hag is going to come over here for the cleanup. Fundsmeister has a blink available. There's a health bot from Kraken, but I'm pretty sure this is not going to save him. We'll cancel the health bot there. Actually, mid, I knew that was going to happen. Glacius is going to take the Immobilize on top of the Joust, and the Impale Stun is there for a kill. So then let's go back here and see what happens. Kraken actually manning up a little bit here against Hag, as Hag does not have enough mana for a blink. If he drops the release, then she's probably dead. And now she does have enough mana. Bensington and Cersei coming over here looking for something. Charge away. Blink from Hag, so I think Kraken will be alright here. No Joust available for Bensington. Looking for the mana. Costs 100. Still needs about 8, 7. And Kraken will live, so nice play there, getting a kill on Ophelia and then not having to pay for it. As up here, Zlapt is not having the greatest game, 180 gold per minute. And for how beloved Ophelia is, this is sort of the issue I have with her, is sometimes her spawns aren't good, and when that happens, she can get screwed. mean, you see here like Tempest or something like that will be in the 280, 300 GPM mark by this time, always. Does not matter what he gets in terms of spawns. I think Ophelia does bring a little more to the game if she does get good spawns, and there's a stun there onto Repulsor plus the Immobilize, and Ball Lightning actually misses. Joust is still available. There it is. The Lance Along is going to hit, and that's it. That's taking a bunch of damage from the tower, but Cersei will actually take the aggro off, and now Glacius is in some trouble. There's the Impulse stun. No, there it is. It threw the slap, and there it is. Second kill. That's why I hate Glacius. I don't play Glacius. I don't like to play him because the Immobilize is not a stun. Same thing with Cersei. Immobilizes are not stuns. And if Glacius had stunned Pesty there, there's a reasonable chance it would have taken long enough to kill them that Repulsor could have come in and cleaned up a kill or two. And for Dr. Repulsor, at this stage in the game, a kill or two is huge. Not just in terms of levels, but 330 GPM right now. It would vault him up there over Pestilence. Flensmeister actually going to fall on bot, as I'm just missing everything. Fade coming in here. Actually didn't even open with the ult, but that's not going to make a difference, as Flensmeister falls in the stun duration. Ophelia is over here. Bensington going to fall on top of Kraken. There's a release of Kraken. Looking for a joust. Not going to happen. Burning Shot is available? No. And Minotaur is taking a bunch of tower damage there, as looks like Oph will try to push in here. Top, Ravener gets some free firm in the uncontested top lane now. So game's relatively even here. 3-3 hero kill, slightly gold lead for Legion, slight experience lead for Hellborn. And it's a little hard to say who a static game benefits, because I think the early to mid game, the early game is relatively even. The mid game should go slightly in favor of Legion, and the late game will go in favor of Hellborn. Just because Repulsor will outcarry Hag. Ravener Pesty is a bit of a toss-up. Kraken should do better than Bensington, as Bensington actually has a pretty serious late game problem. He doesn't do very well unless he has massive farm. Just doesn't seem to do enough damage. And dies relatively quickly, just not that tanky for how tanky he should be, or how tanky he seems he should be. The wild card, of course, is Cersei. If she's able to get a nice ultimate off, the late game could go in Legion's favor if they manage to take a fight and grab that Repulsor, and then all of a sudden they've got multiple carries. So not only do you have to deal with Repulsor on this side, you have to deal with Hag and stuff. But the dual lane from the laning phase reforming here, as in fact top lane does as well. Repulsor and Bensington going at it. Tower control, or lane control going to be had by Bensington, and he'll get some CS as Repulsor heads in the jungle. Kraken looking for something. We'll find Ophelia here, but perhaps not the best thing. Skeleton, King Net, Torrent goes out, but that's not going to be too much. Both Minotaurs, not enough mana to stomp. Fade and Kraken over here looking for something onto Hag. But Flensmeister playing fairly passive here. We'll go into the shop. And Fade's going to be spotted out by the creep. And her ultimate was not up. Dropping the haunt there on a Kraken, who has his ultimate, but not much else. Look at the farm here. Bit of a slow start for Hag. Bensington's actually out farming her, which is a pretty serious issue considering Bensington was the suicide. Proboss doing pretty well on that mid pesty. So is Doctor though. So that's the biggest problem here for Legion. Is the Doctor's doing well and Hag's not. Pulling here on Bensington. He's gonna take a bunch of damage. Takes the ult as actually Flensmeister probably needed it more. And he will be okay. Burning or Reflection coming in for Fade. There's a Torrent and the Burning Shadows on top of that, and this is going to be a death. So Flensmeister a little too aggressive there, staying in lane when Fade and Kraken were still available. Bensington will port in a bit late, so he won't be able to clean anything up. Mid tower going to be pushed in as Oaf is bringing her minions. Will take a freeze on one. Blaze just takes the bugs. And actually, it is going to be a dead minion. Ophelia tries to port it back, but taking a little too long. And this is still going to be a mid-tower kill, as it is now below deny range. The question is, who's going to get it? Ball lightning coming out onto Pestilence. The Immobilize does not hit. Port coming in here as well. And it is going to be both Doctor and Fade. There's Cersei throwing out illusions. And she's in the back, but there's a Rev Ward right there, so... Pesty actually going to try to do stuff as Doctor's getting over here, but Slap on Ophelia falls very quickly. Cersei trying to get the hell out of there. Another Rev Ward dropped in favor of the Hellborn, so they see her, but TPS Bracelet's still going to fall. Jouts there onto Ravener. What the hell is he still doing here? Hag going to come into the side as Haunt gets applied. Impale going to help finish off the kill. Joust over here on Bensington, going to hit nothing. Hag and Kraken going to go out once again in the spot lane. Mickey returns top. Probos come in, so they're pretty much sticking to their laning phase lanes. So I will have to blink out to stay alive. Port here coming in from Ravener. But Flensmeister going to leave the lane. In fact, stack the pull here. 4 heroes down here for the Legion, Hellborn side, and Fade and Glacius have joined Ravener and Kraken. They really want to kill this Hag. Reflection activated by Fade, and she will be able to scout Flens out here. Hello, there she is. Ravener coming in here with the Ball Lightning. There's the Burning Shadows, and here comes Ball Lightning on top of Light's Imprisonment, and now she's just completely dead. Tries to blink, gets an animation, not enough. Word plays by Glacius in the meantime. So Flensmeister is really suffering here. He's 0-3 and 1, 245 gold per minute. And this is not looking good for Legion because they need him to get off to a good start. Ophelia perhaps can get caught here. There's Elisa Kraken on top of the torrent, and she's in some trouble. Minotaur Stomp's going to help her out a little bit. But the Fate Burning Shadows coming here. Bensington is here as well. Ophelia just surviving. As there goes TPS Priceless on Fade, actually. Ophelia is still alive somehow. Glacius will get picked off on the side. Slap falls in the meantime. Kraken now in some trouble. Ball Lightning can come in here. Will actually hit Bensington, but that's still going to be a death on Kraken, and Ravener wanting no part of that fight. We'll just get the hell on out of there. So initially a bad fight for Legion as they lose Hag, but then taken 3 for just Oath. Now Repulsor going to eat the Haunt on top of a Sonar Scream. And thinking, what are you doing here, Hag? There we go, that's what she's doing. There's a port coming in. And Repulsor will use all of his mana to get the hell out of there. And Cersei comes to assist. Fade has Burning Shadows activated, sees Cersei all by herself, and they're just going to kill her. Like at this point, they should just kill her. Just a little too fast. Oh god, Striders. Oh god, Striders. Invisibility rune down here. Spade's like, oh, I can't hang any longer. So a little incision there whether or not to go on Cersei cost them a kill. Because they definitely would have had it. If she had just opened up on Cersei when she was up here top near the Glacius where he could ice imprison. And of course the Rev Ward down. Cersei's little stupid illusion crap trick doesn't work. Torrent here on to Pesty, but he doesn't care that much. As the Legion side's ripping up here bot, everybody heading here, looking for a push, I suppose. Jump onto Kraken, there's the Joust following it up, and this is going to be dead Kraken. A little too much burst damage coming out from the Legion side, as, once again, that Lancelong is stronger than you think it is. And add 160 plus 45 magic damage per charge. Times 4 charges is 180. So, 340 magic damage
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
at full charges. So bot tower falls, mid tower getting work done by the Hellborn. As up here, Probusk has ported, and so has Flensmeister to try to prevent this one from falling, but two heroes still down here in Ophelia and Cersei looking to push bot tower. And Hellborn should probably respond to this. There's only two heroes here. Instead, they're going to try to take mid, and it's not falling very fast at all. This is, in fact, taking forever. Bot tower won't get killed, but here's a jump on Behesti as he hits two. Joust following up will help kill Fade, as there goes the Sonar Scream. A nice ultimate there from Glacius, but she's going to eat the resistant ult, and that's going to be clear death. Just trying to save Ravener. Not going to happen, though, as Joust comes in, and plus there's a Ball Lightning from Cersei, and there goes Rav. 3-for-0 exchange, plus they don't even take mid-tower. They don't even get it all that low. Perhaps going to see a mid-tower push on the side of the Legion here, trying to kill the secondary tower. All of a sudden we have a 6.6k gold lead and 6k experience lead for the Legion. Kraken over here going to throw a Torrent onto Cersei, doing a bunch of damage, but not that big a deal. Energizer popped.
Don't be jealous of me now.
Icon is finished on Doctor at 18 minutes. It's actually pretty fast. So now, if they fight, he'll be much harder to kill. Top tower falls by Doctor. We'll see what happens. Release the Kraken, going to be dropped onto Ophelia here, and she's taking a bunch of damage. Will fall very quickly. Repulsor's finally in the fight, but there goes Kraken, getting destroyed. Hastrun is here on Hag. His Ball Lightning actually misses. Joust in the background, trying to pick off this Repulsor, but Burning Shadows is active on Fade, looking for something. Will hit Bensington and put the Burning Shadows in there, so he's fine. Sorry, there's Reflection I meant. Immobilize comes out, will stop Repulsor, but won't do anything else to anybody. As Hellborn take a 2-for-1 trade and keep their tower alive. Repulsor also got a couple charges there, yeah, 4. So he always likes that. And this is the part where Doctor starts to snowball. Mid-tower finally will die.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
And so that's the second tier 1 here killed by the Hellborn, as they lost the first one quite a bit earlier, and that ties up the tower. It's actually, no, sorry. I'm really confused. Okay, it does tie up the towers. I'm like, this it said 10 to 9, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I can count, right? No, it just takes a while for this stupid thing up here to remain, or to change. Cersei gonna stack a camp here, or what the hell is she doing? She's actually gonna pull it in the lane, help the creeps farm it. Or use the creeps to help farm it. In fact, only gets 1 CS there. Bait gonna spot a Cersei illusion here. Will she be baited? Torrent. Oh, yep. Wow, that's painful. Both the Torrent and the Reflection auto attack go out as they try to take Cersei down, but that hero is annoying as all hell. And it was a fake. Also, of course, gives away their positioning. Hag's farm recovering a little bit here, getting up to 300 GPM, but still behind Bensington and Pesty, and well behind Repulsor, is now at 435 gold per minute. Triple stacked Ancients here being taken, as Glacius will drop the ultimate, but Pesty jumps into everything. Huge Bat Blast, killing their entire team. Oh my god. How did they even have vision of that? Was a ward up here maybe spotted him or something? That's painful. Kongor now going to be killed. They cleaned up the last of the Ancients. Oh, that hurts. That was a really, really great initiation for Pesty. Impel Stun hit all 3. Bat Blast hit all 3. Sonar Scream hit all 3. And Bensington dropping the ult. He didn't even need it. But it does secure the kill. Kongor going to drop relatively fast here. Token presumably on Hag.
Kongor has been slain.
There it is. Up top, Repulsor gonna get tried. I'm trying to find him here. He doesn't have any mana, but he will evade their efforts. Meanwhile, fake Bensington, who's still sitting in the pit, and the rest of the Legion team looking for something. Ancients are back, so they're like, oh, let's finish those off then. So Hag at 2,200 gold here has enough for the light brand. I assume that's what she's going to be going. Kraken perhaps in some trouble. As there we go with the Haunt. Charge away, but right into the entire team. Release the Kraken gets dropped. Hits Ophelia mostly, but Lexaniel is going to help kill him, and this is no question going to be a dead Kraken. As Lap gets the last auto attack. So I wonder if Hag is going for Grimoire, but doesn't want to drop anything right now, so she's waiting for the token to get lost so she can pick up that Grimoire and replace the item slot with it. Mid-tower gonna get pushed in a little bit, but defense comes in from Hag. Smashing. As the bot secondary tower is in fact denied. Cersei fake just sitting here. Won't draw any aggro. This Repulsor's like, well, he can't be that stupid, right? Fade eating her way into the trees over here for some reason. Activates the reflection. Looking for a pickup here as Repulsor's coming in, but so is Hag, and they're going to catch each other, and now Fade cannot open on this. Repulsor just gets the hell on out of there as fast as he can. And this is going to be 3 heroes that were pushed up here. Kraken has ported in, so he's looking for a tower defense. Cersei, that's the real Cersei. But there goes Hag with the Immobilize. Nope, Immobilize is not there. I think it said Hag, I meant Fade. Top tower gonna fall.
Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
And all of a sudden, we're 10k gold lead, 11k experience lead here for Legion side, so this is pretty... This is a bit of an issue here because they were okay losing the mid game, or losing in the mid game, but perhaps not by this much. Dust pop there, and actually that will hit both fakes. Even I can't tell. Bugs there on to Kraken is actually, he's going to eat the Bensington ultimate. And there goes the Joust on top of it. Release the Kraken gets dropped, messing up that team fight a bit. Cersei in the back will pick off the Repulsor, so ha. He says, look what I've got. There goes Jade Monkey on the Repulsor. Double tap. In fact, 3 hero kills down as Fade dropped 2, in addition to Glacius and Repulsor. And it's like I said, you take over that Repulsor, all of a sudden things become a pretty big problem.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower. The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
I just hate everything. My friends over here. Jump here onto Kindman on that Kraken, and he will fall very quickly. Blaze just puts a freeze onto the Minotaur, but gonna eat the Impel stun. Shugana gets activated just in time for the Ball Lightning, and then, man, Blaze just... Faye gonna have to activate the Reflection to get the hell on out of there. Gonna open up here onto the Bensington, and Repulsor in the back a little bit as Hag over here getting dropped relatively quickly, but eats the Newer's Blessing and will be fine. And now Impel Stun onto 2. Both Ravener and Repulsor are in some trouble. Enough stun to take him out, as well as Repulsor. Those Minotaurs helping out a lot. And there goes game. A little surprising. Not that surprising. I think they were perhaps done. But interesting because that was game 2. Like I could understand a lot if that was game 1 and like, all right, whatever, let's go next. But that is game 2. So TKAG will drop to the losers bracket here, and not really the games I expected. You know, a better team than I figured. 2 games would be done in 50 minutes, under an hour. But certainly dnL showing exactly how powerful they are and showing that they're very, very good at team coordination. They're very good at taking mid-game team fights, and this series will go to them as a result. So that'll do it, with dnL moving on to round 8, TKAG dropping down in the losers bracket, and this series is over. So thanks for